Oh, right. Right. We were going to do a small movie review for like a 5-minute discussion. Yeah. So last night. Yeah. So we went to I wanted to watch a movie, right? And so there were two movie choices: Sinners or Weapons. I haven't seen Sinners yet. I hear it's also very good. But my parents really wanted to. Were like, you gotta see Weapons. You gotta see Weapons. You gotta see Weapons. They kept telling me you gotta watch Weapons, and I also realized that Weapons is by the same director who did Barbarian. I don't know if you've seen Barbarian. It's a very interesting movie. Whether you love or think the movie is not love, you don't love it, is dependent on how you feel on the last third of the film. The first 2/3 of Barbarian are not particularly ridiculous or crazy, and then it just goes off the rails. So Weapons is the same kind of type of director. I genuinely think it is probably my favorite movie of the year. Now, as some of you may know, I don't do horror. I'm kind of a little baby back bitch. I am a little pussy bitch. Most of the movie, or at least most of the first half of Weapons, I was like, it was a lot more traditional horror. I gotta be honest, I am 100% the kind of guy who will like sit on the couch with my blanket, and then when something scary, when a clear jump scare is coming, I'll just like one eye that thing until the jump scare happens, and then I'll go back to normal. I just hate jump scares, man. I hate them. They make me uncomfy. Holy Christ! So the first half of it was very more traditional horror. I will say in that film, all the acting is superb. Genuinely superb. It's got Benedict Wong, who's very good. He's not in a ton, but he's very good. It's got why am I forgetting his name? Josh Brolin, who's Thanos. You've also got I don't remember her name off the top of my head. She's like the teacher, Julia Gardner, who's very good. But the premise of the film, without spoiling anything, the premise of the film, basically, it's like a little small smallish town, and maybe not that small, like middle-ish town. And the story is that one day, a third grade school class, and they at 2:17 in the morning, all of them get up, go out their front door, and run into the darkness, and they never come back. And they don't Naruto run. They run like with this weird like sideways angle like this. It's very strange. It's very, very strange. And then they just run out into the darkness and they never come back. It's a very good hook. The parents are dealing with it. And then of course the teacher of that one class, only one kid doesn't run away. It's very strange and it's very, very weird. And what the hell's going on? That's the premise of the film. And you don't even really like quote unquote meet the villain of the film until like halfway through. And holy hell, what a character. I really like the fact that all the characters are not like they're just, I don't know, they're set up really well. It's strange. Like the actual characters in the movie don't like their personality traits don't much impact the film in a way, but they themselves just are interesting. Like the teacher is, I don't know, she's like kind of a bitch, but she's also an alcoholic. She's a bit, too comfy with the students. I don't mean in the weird sexual way. I mean in the like, hey, you shouldn't drive your kids home if they miss the bus. Like that's not professional. Josh Brolin's character is kind of like a bully. He's a bit of a dickhead, just growing up. There's a cop character who is at first seems really nice and just seems like a pretty nice guy. At times he is, and then he's like turning off his body cam type shit. And you're like, oh, among other things I won't get into. And those characters don't really, I don't know how to describe it. Like those character traits don't really come up, but they actually, I mean, they do a little bit, but they don't actually, like, they're not the main crux of the film. Like the main girl, the main Julia Gardner, the teacher, her being an alcoholic does not play into the story at all. She just is, and they have quite interesting like flaws. They're very real. Yeah, they feel really realistic. They feel like realistic characters, which is really good. Austin Abrams played a character named James, who's like a druggie, and he's great. Just a very good character in general. But the movie is very horror. The first half, very like suspenseful. Like traditional horror, and then the second half of it, wild, still terrifying, but like really funny. I cannot stress this enough. The ending, the climax of the film is maybe the best horror movie ending I have ever seen in my entire life. I was almost in tears, like I was almost crying laughing while simultaneously doing kind of like an oh my god. It's genuinely brilliant. Genuinely brilliant. There's just lots of parts that are just really funny for no reason. There's a part, without too many spoilers, where Josh Brolin is having like a bad dream, and there's a giant gun. We're not even gonna get into the gun thing because that was just so bizarre and it's never explained. But he wakes up from this fucking movie or this dream. He wakes up from this dream and he's just like, what the fuck? And it's just so funny. I don't know why. It's just it's just really, really funny the way he yells that. It just out of nowhere. And then you've got just some genuinely creepy scenes. There's one where one of the characters is asleep in their car and a door to a house opens and this lady just like walks down without any music or jump scare sting or anything. It was wildly uncomfortable. I was like doing this. I was like, The car scene was so unsettling. It's spooky. It's funny. It's got all kinds of incredible stuff there. I really want you all to watch it. I don't want to spoil it, but the main villain of the entire movie is an all-timer. I feel like they are going to be one of the most interesting and like talked about villains for a bit. It is genuinely an all-time character. It is an all-timer film for me in terms of like horror movies. It was fascinating. The performances were stellar. It broke a ton of horror conventions. There's a lot of stuff that happens during the daytime that is just not normal for horror stuff, you know? A lot of weird daytime-ish time frame areas that got extremely strange and creepy. There is a film of a scene, without spoiling, where someone runs like there's a montage of them running through areas because they're chasing down one person about halfway through the movie, and it's terrifying, and it's completely in broad daylight, and it's genuinely terrifying. The camera work is insane. The soundtrack was really good too. The soundtrack was really, really good. When they there's a part where they explain everything that happened, and the soundtrack during that is really good. I feel like if you're a horror diehard and you just really want a scary movie, it might not be for you. It starts scary, but then it gets weirdly hilarious and really funny while still being scary. I also really like how they don't explain stuff. Like, they don't really explain the main villain. It's just like, yeah, this is what they are. Where'd they come from? Who cares? Like, how is this possible? Who cares? It doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. It's what it is. Yeah, sucks. Apparently, they're doing like a prequel about the villain, and I don't give a shit. I don't want to know more. I don't care that there's more. I don't want to know more about the villain. I want them to stay this way. This is who they are. This is what happened. They are this way because who gives a shit? It's a movie. Fuck you. Absolutely phenomenal movie. If anyone, I'm probably going to put this up on YouTube. If anyone from the YouTube side watches this movie on my recommendation, please tell me and please tell me your thoughts because I think it's an absolute all-timer. Goddamn, I love it.